Welcome to Cars in Korea. I am DK Kim, your source for the latest Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And the cars I have behind me today are lots of Genesis, but as you saw from the thumbnail, the car I came to meet today is this Genesis GV80 Coupe concept. This is the first Genesis Magma that was given out to us. It's first time here in Korea revealing itself to the public. Ironically, we already got the Genesis GV60 Magma, which is the first production model of GV60. There actually was Genesis G80 Magma that was offered in very limited quantities in UAE, I believe. Huge market over there in terms of luxury vehicles and brands. Long story short, this was the first Genesis Magma, although it was a concept. So after that, we got GV60 Magma concept, which is actually a production model now. But in between these two, there was that Genesis G80 Magma. Just like many and most cars, this car truly deserves to be seen in person because there is just so much more when you see this car in person than on videos and photos. But let's go check it out. If you've been following my channel, you guys know that I actually have been to Genesis Munich when I was in Germany. Over there, there was yet another mind-blowing Genesis concept. That is GMR-001. From the looks of it, you guys can tell already, it is not road legal. It's 100% race car from bottom up. That Genesis has been making in order to compete World Endurance Championship. And you know, I actually made a post about it a few days ago. Genesis goes racing for real. So this is not a concept no more. This is actually the race car that will be competing in the WEC. But the hero car is you today, GV80 Coupe. Of course, double line identity, truly Genesis. And when it actually illuminates and lights up, it looks just so much better because it has solid white lighting, unlike the MLA micro lens arrays that we get with the production cars. So you see a little bit of cubes right there. All of those are an individual lighting called micro lens array, MLA. And if this car ever comes to a production model, 99.9% the car will also come with the MLA. It is just a concept, one-off concept car, just so you know. Aside from the double line identity, there is the big crest grille on the front. Definitely a penetrating design language of Genesis. If you didn't know, that shield and that double line is actually an extension of the Genesis emblem. So that grille crest with the wings on the sides. So the front look itself is just a gigantic Genesis emblem. We also get that with other Genesis as well. Not so much with the GV60, I guess, but there is the double line identity together with that crest design on the front. A little bit of triangular design right there, and I'll come back to you momentarily. Big, gigantic intake. Although it's all covered up, would have been nice if they actually opened it up because they certainly are going to need that extra cooling for the production model. And that little air holes as well. We saw that got carried over to the GV60, but Genesis team made it official. It is mostly for the looks to carry over the lineage and heritage. We see a little bit of that on the side skirts as well. So that's not necessarily for the performance, but for the looks. So more of the carbons on the front. I mean, just look at the work of this thing. The canards, the design. I like that double line identity over there too. And that also gets connected and carried over to the roof as well. It has carbon roof. The lighter it is towards the top, it is going to greatly contribute to lowering the center of gravity. So carbon roof actually has a great impact if you didn't know. I doubt that this is the carbon wheel. We saw this design, not exactly the same one, but 5 spokes with 2 lines on the sides of the rims. We've seen that with the Genesis GV70 sports package, 420 millimeters. That is big rotor. It doesn't look all that big because the wheel itself is just outrageous. It is 23-inch wheel wrapped around in 295/35/23. Oh my God. No wonder why that 420 millimeter rotor looks so small. 3 pots, 1, 2, 3 on each side, making it 6 pot calipers. And they have good demonstration of the Magma merchandise as well as the suspension and steering wheel that's been used on models. So these are the ones for the Genesis GV60 actually. So this is the steering wheel of the GV60, the Magma button. I will soon be test driving GV60 Magma, so come back to the channel if you want to know all about it. And we can also see from the steering wheel that this car is electric, right? We got that lightning here. That is to change the regen brakes of your Magma. And more carbon on the side mirror. Just look at the weaving of these things. It's absolutely beautiful. And of course, the carbon on the side skirts as well. So this design and silhouette, we kind of saw it with the GV80 Coupe. Now that one, that is actually the GV80. I'll show you the Coupe momentarily because there's one over there. Is it going to be a square wheels and tires, meaning same size all around? 295, 35, 23. So yes, it is. It's the same wheels and tires all around. I can see that it's got the spinning wheel cap in the middle. Genesis logo is going to stay parallel to the ground. And just look at the spoiler. I like the double scoop and also another spoiler at the bottom. The trunk design itself on its own is an aerodynamic design as well. Look how rapidly it drops towards the rear and then it bounces back up, finished with carbon spoiler extension. I like that touch, carving out in the middle with the massive double line identity rear brake lights. And there's actually the brake light in the spoiler itself too. As much as this car is a concept car, we can see there's a lot of production model in mind, design and cue. That massive exhaust tip, and that is also shield and crest design, something that we've seen with the latest Genesis facelifted models. We can't really see much of the interior, unfortunately, but I'll include the photo I shot. The interior isn't that much different, if not the same as the regular GV80 that we've been getting. So I can see that it's got the CCIC, it's got the rotary buttons and gears here and there, but the biggest difference this concept has that no other cars have got is it's got 4 bucket seats inside, 2 in the first row and 2 in the second row. I mean, we have seen cars with bucket seats on the first row a lot, but how many times have you actually seen second row with bucket seats? It's also got the big roll bar on the rear. You can see right there. This has foreshadowed what is to come next on Genesis Magma models, and that's what we got with Genesis GV60 Magma. All right, this is it. Genesis GV60 Magma, the first production Magma that we got from Genesis. And I do have in-depth review of the car inside out, so please refer to that video. Now that I have the production Magma to that of the concept car, we can see a lot of design cue that's been borrowed. Not to mention about those 3 holes that I told you about, but the inlet together with that canard over there. Do not be mistaken, this is actually a production model car. If you're in Korea, you can actually buy this car like now. So there is the 6-pot caliper that we saw earlier and the rotors together with the suspension setup. It's electronically controlled, and all of this, the details, you can see it in my previous video, so please refer to that. So you see, I can actually hop inside. So look at the semi bucket seats. This is just absurd. So this is not the same bucket seats that is included in the concept, but the idea is similar. It's a racing bucket seat, so it has much aggressive thigh support, lumbar support. It's made of the fabric, that way it has most friction against your clothes. So it's going to hold you real good. And that's the reason why Genesis did not go with leather on this car. And that hole right there is for your racing seat belts. You can use 4-point. So the car still has a sphere. It has been uniquely GV60, and that one will rotate when you fire up the car. So you can twist it, rotate it to go into rear, reverse, neutral, and drive. And rotary control we've been seeing throughout Genesis cars. So this guy is actually a drawer. Yep, just like that. And I don't know how many of you guys would know about this, but this actually is, look at that. You can take this out, and that's where the diffuser goes. It's designed and looks like that on the right side, while on the left is for the mirrors. A lot of this is circular and oval throughout this GV60. Gotta love the orange seatbelt and stitching all throughout. So that is the quarter view. And look at that aggressive wing. I'm not sure if I should call this a spoiler. I mean, technically it is, because it's actually connected to the car. It's not suspended, so it's not wing. It is a spoiler, right? See, it's all connected to the body of the car. So it is a spoiler, but it's got that wing design to it. Just love the little tip right there. Again, it's not just for the looks, but performance. And the car being an EV, the battery packs underneath, it's made of the EGMP as we know, but it doesn't really stick out all that much. There are a lot of similarities with this car to that of the Ioniq 5N, yes. However, being the first in Genesis and Magma, the interior, the UI and UX, just they're completely different inside out. And we are gonna get more Magma for sure. Genesis calls it Magma Program. But technically, it's applicable to all Genesis. And Genesis is actually testing GV70 Magma as we speak. It's being spotted here and there in Korea, and there has been some crazy exhaust note, but no one knows for sure if that is actually the true internal combustion engine's exhaust note or not, because we know manufacturers can include speakers in the cars, right? That's not limited to EVs, but ICE, internal combustion engine cars as well. So the Boston Dynamics, these guys were like the kings at CES. I know the specs and numbers are out there, and I am 175 centimeters tall, and this guy is definitely taller than me. I love how they are all in ultimate red metallic, right? Sonata, Ioniq 5, Tucson, GV80 Coupe, and G80. So this is the production GV80 Coupe, and of course I have reviews of the car on the channel. So looking at that line, it's definitely different. It's certainly different from what we've seen with the GV80 Magma concept. The design cues got carried over, right? That double scoop, as well as the body working as a spoiler itself. Just see how that rises up. And you might think this is just another SUV. Trust me, if you actually see this in person in real life, this certainly has that coupe design of an SUV. And if you didn't know, that silver is also the shield, Genesis emblem. There's a trunk button. And it's actually quite practical. This is quite big. Those who don't really need a big GV80 and you want to have a sleek design towards the C-pillar, this is the car you want to get. So as we have been seeing, a lot of design got carried over from the Magma concept, but this is not a hardcore car, so you don't get the semi-bucket seats. Of course, not on the second row seats either. The second row seats get the bench type, so you can accommodate 5 people, no problem. So this is where Genesis headed towards. You can have the ultimate luxurious family SUV in another model if you're looking for more style, and the ultimate performance if that's what you're looking for. All right, that really is it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe Cars in Korea if you did, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you are ever in Korea and also nearby this place, make sure you come check out Hyundai Motor Studio Goyang, because this is where you can see the latest cars of Genesis and Hyundai, as you can see. And there is a whole merch and merchandise of N's. Second floor, themed exhibition. Ioniq 6N, the latest N car. If you are enthusiast, the N fan, you want to come here and check those out. You can play the Sims. Just look at how they decorated up the place. And the very first N Performance parts, not all of them made it to the production, but these are the parts for the Veloster N. And those I had on my cars. That's actually for Elantra. And over here is the merch shop. And Atlas, these guys come in diecasts now, wow. I think they have all the N merch here. I think I have about 30% of these.